Green flag will wave. It is out. Gidley with a great start. And Kazimans in that orange and white number 60 right behind, looks to the inside down into turn 1.
Yeah, Gidley's going to have to hold off that inside line. He did, and around the outside tries to go Josh Sargent, but spins.
And that's big contact with the wall on the outside. I believe that was Josh Sargent in the 54 trying to use some of that experience to go around the outside of Gidley. Gets up there where a lot of the water puddles there on the way into one. I think he got in the braking zone, just lost the back end, and around it goes. Contact with the tire wall. He's back underway, and the 17 around as well. That's Anthony Mantella, a rookie in the Prototype Challenge category.
Yeah, and remember Gidley did exactly what he needed to do there, cut off Tony's Kazimans, and if Josh Sargent wants to be brave and go around the outside, says Memo Gidley, go for it. He did. It didn't work out though for Josh Sargent, and that's bad news for the MLT team. Looks like some damage on the rear end of that car, Brian.
Defending champion Sargent and his teammate Dakota Dickerson, and as that car makes contact with the wall, pretty heavy contact, certainly the rear wing I think is going to be askew, and they'll have to change that, and some damage to the bodywork as well as Sargent works his way around. We also saw the problem for 17. Sargent goes around Anthony Mantella as he's backwards there at the exit of impact. And a problem for the 14 down on the infield there at the bus stop.
So Lance Woolsey
sharing that car with Seb Trio, your champion in Porsche Carrera Cup last year. And
Josh, and he's charging back now to try and get that car into position. Oh no, there's a problem there for Joe Robillard. He and Stephen McAleer, they seem to have no luck at all here at Daytona.
On the pavement, he's got the wheel spinning, he's got it back underway, and there is damage to that car though. The front end definitely seems to be askew. The splitter seems to be down on the ground, and damage to the nose cone. See that 54 car, which won't be able to run the 54 number if it runs in WeatherTech, because that belongs to Core Autosport. But it'd be great to see Dr. Thomas and his team there. I believe that is the 57.
You're right, it is. You're right, and the second generation of LMP3 car, which was introduced a couple of years ago in Europe. Who was the spin there? Was that Thenis who spun?
I think it was.
It introduced a couple of years ago. Was a kind of a 77 US Racetronics entry for Brian Thenis. A lot of experience. And yeah, let's have a look, see what happened. There's looking to the inside is Tony Arve, and trying to follow him through there was Brian Thenis. Just carried a little bit too much speed towards the apex and the back end. It's so super slippery out there, Brian, isn't it?
Stephen McAleer, while running in the top 3, I believe it was 2 or 3 years ago, after the final pit stop, lost a wheel in the infield and was out of the race, where it looked like that's the way it is for Robillard here. And there's the 46 around at the West Horseshoe. And
in fact, the lead, it was 5.7 seconds last time. There's a spin for the number 18 car. That's Efren Castro. He's having a torrid time out there at the moment. It's very different to a Porsche. 159.5, and George Kurtz, an excellent 157.6 last time around in car number 4, running in the 6th position.
Oh!
Whoops.
And that was synchronized spinning down in the International Horseshoe. The 17 went around. That's Anthony Mantella, and I believe that was the 43. No, it wasn't the 43, the 46 there with him. Just get target fixation on the car in front. You get there in the middle of the corner. So Mantella has his problem, and I think that's the 18 actually that goes around. I think what happens a lot of times, you get in there and you react to the car going around and you lift abruptly. The weight transfers to the front very quickly, and around the rear end goes. So underneath them, the speeds are down a little bit, so the confidence can be there. You can find that grip, and off you go. Grip seems to be at a premium right now for Josh Sargent. As this track has dried and the lap times are getting quicker and quicker, is that what we're starting to see? We talked about this earlier, the balance of that car to go. The only endurance round in the 2022 season, as another car around in turn 1. 3 hours here. The rest of the season will be 1 hour and 45-minute races. But
GT cars, GT4 cars, and TCRs. In addition, there's a spin. It's Tony Arve, isn't it? In addition to Robert Wickens, there's going to be two paralysed drivers in that race with Michael Johnson. Is Michael Johnson as well? What happened to Tony Arve? Wow.
Wonder if he dropped a wheel off the left side coming out of the horseshoe in it.
It's folklore, or reality, who knows? But there's another spin for the Steve Scullen car, car number 46.
The conditions right now are probably more difficult than they were. He gets out there, touches that white paint on the outside that marks the racing surface from the runoff area.
Tony Arve. And I would think it's an hour and 2 minutes into this race. There's an off for our rally champion on his out lap. Yeah.
Man.
They're down very well.
The question is, what kind of tires are going on? I wonder if we've got a problem, but we do have a problem for the 61. I don't have to wonder about that at all, trying to get that car turned back around. Hannah Zeller down. Alexander Kariba get his lap back, and at that point in time on, it's a brand new ball game. Problem for the 57.
Oops. Well, that car's, at least, well, the good news is the car's back out again. And he's did quite a few laps too. It's on 31 laps now, but I presume that's Josh.
This is far from over with. Kazimierz has the bit in his teeth. He can make a mistake and go off the racetrack, and you can be a part of someone else's problem. 40 is around.
Yep, the Grant brothers off for turn 6.
Your line. Be defensive here in the brake zone. Make Cangialosi go wide. Contact. He hits him. Kariba off. He gains control. He's back on the racetrack. Cangialosi is behind him. Focus forward. A podium finish is yours. Meanwhile, Tony.
To see whether Seb Prioto can close up. Yeah, the replay here going into the horseshoe, and
Kariba did everything perfectly.
Textbook.
Exactly what he needed to do. He stayed tight, stayed defensive. He wasn't going to give Cangialosi the inside line, and that little bit of lockup is what propelled the 47 forward just a little bit, makes the ever so slight contact. And once again, great job by Kariba to keep the wheel straight.
Really tricky conditions during this 3-hour race. Tony Kazimierz using all of his experience there. Finally, the first win in this championship, in overall win at least for Bruce Hamilton. Super well deserved, as we see the Serenos. Well, I guess the race finished almost like it started, but they are going to make get to the end of this, or maybe get to the end of this race. Boy, it's been really tricky, and it's been a tremendous motor race.
And it's the problems for the Sereno family have all come at the horseshoe.
One or other.